done now is, this is another method, another way to set up a diagonal or diamond pitch with our PST series ponchos. This is the large 10 by 10, so I've got a lot of length here. Now, I'm 5 feet high at the top here in the middle, and I know you can't necessarily probably see all the way up there. And I've made this up so it's actually a floored bivy. So you see I've got a floor in this bivy all the way back. So the way I did that is I staked out opposite corners like we always do for a diamond pitch or diagonal pitch. And then I came down 4 tabs from the high corner, and I put a tent stake on each side. That left me tarp fabric that I could fold underneath me, and it actually, I'll show you in a minute, it actually overlaps a little bit through the main part of the area here. And I've got a little bit of area out front here that is unfloored. So I could stick whatever things I may want to have out here. I could even use a stove or a very small fire. You wouldn't want to have too much with this kind of setup, but probably just a stove or something like that for cooking. I could set that right out here. I can be inside of here. And it gives me a ton of space inside of here. It's not huge on width or height because I'm pulling in to have a floor. But it is a very, very nice setup if you do want to have a little bit of floor protection underneath you. I don't often do that. I'm mostly right on the ground, but you know, there are times when the ground is not the best thing that you want to sleep on directly. You want to have a little something between. That's a way you can use this tarp. Here we are in here. I've just kind of pinned this one side over a little bit. You see we've got a little bit of some overlap here. See right there? So that gives me plenty of space. I could put my pack back in here, no problem. My blanket back in here, or sleeping bag to sleep on. On one side here, I could have my pack and stuff like that. On the other side, I could put some other things back at the back. As you can see, it can make a very nice little bivy right here, and give you a little bit of flooring if you got some, you know, say you got some kind of muddy-ish ground or something like that. It's a little more you want to lay directly on. Well, this is one way to do it. Still has some good protection. And you kind of got a wrap around here because the sides, because the tarp is wrapping around underneath you, and with a little overlap underneath you, it actually gives you pretty good protection. And since our front end here is going out and kind of protecting us that way, it helps prevent, you know, storm and stuff from coming inside of here. So let me show you a little bit of the outside now. Now what I've done here, as I often do, is I want to pull up on, especially on a diamond pitch, I usually always want to pull up somewhere in the middle here to kind of give me a little more headroom to kind of tighten it up a little bit. And so what I've done here, and I often do this with a willow or whatever, is put a stick between these 2 tabs right here, and then pull up in the center to just 2 pieces right here that make a little A-frame, and I'm using one of the pieces of the shock cord that comes with. You get 3 of those with your tarp anytime you buy them. So I'm just using one of those right here with the lark's head around right here, and then I've got I didn't need to cinch it up. I got my cord lock up on this end where I can draw it up if I want to pull up a little bit tighter, but this is holding well enough as it is. So as you can see, this gives me a pretty nice little setup, you know, and because I'm putting a floor under me, I am narrower and a little shorter than I could be with the PSTL, you know, this size of a tarp, the 10 by 10. There's a lot of variation I could do right here with this thing, but this is just one quick example. So I'm 5 feet high right here at this end approximately. And you know, you could vary that, but that works really well to give the kind of overlap that I wanted down there. Gives me some pretty steep sides to let the storm run off if you got a storm. Gives you a good bit of headroom inside for sitting up and that sort of thing. So it's a very nice little setup. Let me show you this little section right here now with a diagonal pitch tarp, especially this the big 10 by 10. I always pull up usually all the time in the middle here on some of these tabs, or put a pull inside. And here I've put a stick through here. You could use a willow or whatever between the center tab here and between the next tab over. And I've used a piece of the shock cord that comes with all these tarps that we sell. You get 3 of those, 3 different lengths of shock cord here. Got a cord lock up here. I'm not using it here because this one's giving me enough pull as is. And then just 2 poles that I've just got stuck together right here, and actually the shock cord is actually holding them together, and the pressure pulling down from the tarp actually pulls down on these and holds them in place. And this can actually sway a little bit in the wind and that sort of thing, and there's no problem with it. The shock cord maintains tension all the time on this thing. So this is one way. Another way that you can set up these. Incidentally, the Bivies, now this is, I usually, if I'm doing a one-person bivy, like floored bivy like this, I usually would use the PSTM or the PST, the 7x7, or the PSTM, the 8.5 by 8.5. This is kind of big to do one of these with, but it does give you a good amount of room inside. But the same principles apply no matter how you do it, and you can tweak around with this however you want. You can adjust it a little wider, a little shorter, maybe a little taller. You can do the front a little bit differently. There's all kinds of variations on this, but this kind of gives you this general idea of another excellent way that you can use one of our square tarps. So this is a way to make a floored bivy with our square tarp. And it's just, you know, one of about 50 setups that you can do with the PSTL. So anyway, Perry Peacock, having a good time out here, showing you a little bit more about our tarps and what you can do with them. And hope that if you have one, this is another idea that you can use. If you don't have one, you can get one and try this out. And do all the many things you can do. If you're not familiar with what all comes with our tarps, we got an intro video that just came out here June of 2016. You'll see in our playlist for tarp setups, PST setups, you'll see that intro video, and check that one out, and it'll show you everything that comes with the tarps. So take care, check our website, buy one if you don't have one. Well, I got some dinner cooking over here. I'm going to go eat. So have a great day. Enjoy your time outdoors. Perry Peacock, Wilderness Innovation.